Hello, my name is Eve. I like to talk about disturbing books and recommend them to you. Guess what? Merry Cuckmas. Merry Cuckmas, everyone. It is Christmas. I think I'm getting sick. I have like a stuffy nose or something. Also, I just got done working a 10-hour shift. I'm exhausted. I'm so tired, but it is my duty and obligation to spread some Christmas cheer and tell you guys about some Christmas books to read. Even though Christmas is about to be over, I feel like Christmas books are appropriate to read as long as it's cold outside. You have from now until the end of February to read Christmas books, in my opinion. That's my humble opinion. At least where I'm at, it's cold until then. Let's dig right in. The first book I'm going to be talking about. Oh my god, I think I'm actually getting sick. Fuck. Guys, I don't want to get sick. Okay. But the first book I'm going to be talking about is Christmas Eve Carnage. This. I think I read this book in a day or two. I'll read you the back and then we'll discuss it a little. Life has been difficult for the Fletcher family since the loss of the loving wife and mother, Courtney. Her husband, Jack, buries his grief in his job, working long hours and neglecting his children. No bueno, don't do that. The children struggle with the loss of their mother and a father who's too busy to be with them. Chad Reynolds, an ex-con with a bone to pick, plots his revenge while a malevolent Christmas elf rises. Slams the town as Chad and Sprinkles are on the loose. There will be no silent night, only Christmas Eve carnage. Yeah, Chad gets out of prison and he has a bone to pick with Jack because while he was in prison, he was supposed to get out 5 years earlier or something like that. But Jack reported something and was able to get him in, make him stay in prison longer. So he stayed an extra 5 years. And of course, when he got out of prison, like he had nothing. He had no home to go to, no food, no nothing, no anything. And so he was like, okay, I'm just going to plot out my revenge before I go back to prison because that's probably where I'm going to end up because I have nothing out here. At least in prison, I have like food, water, shelter, all that shit. So he plots out his revenge. And then Jack's daughter finds an elf that I guess belonged to his wife, her mother. And the elf comes to her in a dream and is like, my name's Sprinkles. Fucking creepy. Fucking creepy, dude. Like, if I found a doll and I had a dream and the doll was in the dream talking to me, I think I'd just fucking kill myself. I think I'd wake up and I'd be like, okay, no, absolutely not. That sounds absolutely terrifying. But I also used to be like deathly terrified of Chucky when I was younger, like severely terrified of Chucky. So that just sounds like a terrible, terrible idea to have a fucking doll speak to me in my dream. No, thank you. And so this doll is, well, this elf is obviously not a good thing. Evil. Evil. And so the night that Chad comes to get his revenge, Sprinkles is also on the loose. Shit gets crazy. Shit gets crazy. It was a little bit of a slow burn. Actually, page 3 was fucking wild because it wasn't really like a slow burn. But how come on page 3 it says a streak of the crimson Christmas colored life essence formed a trail from the middle of the throne room to where the pieces of her now rested. He really done a number on her, severed limbs, flayed skin, decapitated head, but that hadn't been enough. He'd even popped the eyeballs out of their respective sockets and skull fucked her dismembered head. Disembodied head. My bad. As soon as I read page 3, I was like, let's go. This is my shit. It was a little bit more of a slow burn, but it was still very interesting to read. I really liked it. And there's a second one that I will be reading. And I don't give a fuck if it isn't Christmas time. I'm going to be reading it. The next book I want to talk about is Oh Come All Ye Fearful. Fearful. This man, his name is Marshall. He's a butcher. And he also has had a very traumatic experience with Christmas, and he has a lot of suppressed rage. And those two things are not very good when it comes to Christmas time because he just fucking snaps. He snaps, he kills his wife. Mind you, he takes a cookie cutter and like pushes it into her skin and like takes her skin out. It's just fucking crazy. I read that and I was like, I was freaking the fuck out. I was like, I don't know what to even say about that. This book was so violent, so grotesque, so visceral. So just it made you cringe. But anyway, we're following Marshall as he just decides to go balls to the wall and really express the fact that he fucking hates Christmas. And he hates Christmas so much that he's going to make it everybody else's problem. And so when some Christmas carolers come to Christmas Carol, uh, he drugs them. He drugs them and he takes them down to his basement and he does unspeakable things. He prepares a stuffed turkey with one of them. Or should I say, prepares one of them like a stuffed turkey. This shit was fucking crazy. Absolutely crazy. Balls to the wall. Love. Love, love, love. The next one. The next one I want to talk about is Christmas Queef. Now, Christmas Queef, we're following Santa's cousin, and Santa's cousin has magical powers just like Santa, but her magical powers allow her to Christmas Queef. She So what she does is Santa handles, all the little nice girls and boys. What Santa's cousin does is handles the worst kind of people. People who are into little boys and girls. So she handles them by producing something out of her hoo-ha, a present, and they open it and it shows what they really wanted growing up, but they never got. And that toy destroys them, like fucks them up, kills them. For instance, one of the first encounters that we have of her magical box producing a magical box is she meets up with this guy and she produces the present out of her hoo ha. He opens it up. It's a Furby. You know those little furry things with the big ass eyes and they're fucking weird. I love them. I loved Furbies. I always wanted one. I don't know if I ever got one. I feel like my childhood is a lot of it is blocked out. Anyway, produces a Furby and the Furby fucks him up, crawls up his ass, starts like tearing him up from the inside out. But this book was very interesting because it explored the like mythical fae world of like Santa and his cousin, and it kind of explored how the powers worked and the scales of like what they're doing and how she's able to do it. Was just a lot. It very loosely reminded me of the way that like Edward Lee explained things and nipping them in the bud. If you've ever read that book, it kind of reminded me of that in a way. Not exactly, but the way that Asher was explaining things reminded me of that. And then finally, I want to talk about Second Skin. I think I've already talked about this book on here, but I'm going to talk about it again because I loved this book a lot. And it's a Christmas book. So, Second Skin is following Santa Claus as he has been drugged and he is being held hostage by Mrs. Claus. But Mrs. Claus isn't acting like herself. You want to know why? Because she lost some weight. She lost some weight and now she's not fat and jolly anymore. And so she is realizing that she was kidnapped when she was younger and Santa Claus isn't who he is projecting to be to everyone. I have a whole ass video about this book because I loved it so much. So I'm not going to explain it too much. You can go watch that video. But another book to read this time of year, of course, is the video I just did, The Human Centipede. But those are some Merry Christmas suggestions for you guys. Check them out, check trigger warnings. I hope everyone has a Merry Cuckmas. I'm gonna go take some medicine and have some tea because I'm definitely getting sick. If you guys want to give me a present, then like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.